It wasn't exactly clip-clop times, but 82 years ago, two couples fled Nazi Germany and found themselves in Ohio. There, they would open a niche business that would help their community acquire affordable products during a time when resources were hard to come by. Over the decades, they would expand way beyond their Buckeye borders to become an American institution for the creative, the crafty, and the do-it-yourselfers. And like almost any brand, there were ups and downs along the way. But as recently as 2021, they had record sales of over $2.7 billion. And yet, today, less than 4 years later, they no longer exist. This month, in the spirit of Halloween, we will explore a series of iconic brands that, for a variety of reasons, have died. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Joann Fabrics and Crafts.
You're all jazzed up, nearly having a cow. You want your favorite show and it's on right now. It's on Brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa.
Hey, I'm Jon.
Hey, I'm Marisa. I always knew it as Joann.
Here's the thing, and I think this is maybe one of the reasons it doesn't exist. The name has changed, and the slogan has changed so many times. Actually, let me get to, I'll just peep down in that, because I wasn't sure where to put that into the show. It has been, let's see, Joann Fabrics and Crafts. Joann Fabrics experience their creativity. Joann Fabrics handmade happiness. It's like they were always, it's not Coca-Cola where it's been Coca-Cola for 189 years.
Yes.
They were always kind of changing a little bit. The storefronts looked different throughout the years. There was no real honing in on a solid and this is an old brand, 80 years, like a forever identity.
Yes.
So I thought it was I did think it was Joann's or Joann's Fabrics.
But maybe that's a little pollination from Michael's.
Maybe.
Michael's. Joann's.
Michael's will play into this story.
Claire's.
As recently as today, Michael's will play into this story.
Wow.
So much so that I forgot that news came out today, and I haven't researched it, so I may have to do live research.
On the fly?
On the fly research.
Jon with his tiny glasses, the microfiche newspaper. From
I
a
wish
news story from today, you do get a print newspaper.
No, I want microfiche to be made morning of the news coming out and it's brought to my house by a little newsie.
You do need a personal fiche.
So a couple things before we get in the show. I won a contest this weekend.
What? Coolest boy in California?
Not exactly.
What is it?
So, you know how have you been to a baby shower? You've had a baby shower.
Yeah, I've been to and had.
I think I was at your baby shower.
Yeah, you were. It was at
the Vanderpumps.
Yeah, the Lisa Vanderpump restaurant, which has since shuttered. Talk about a dead brand.
COVID.
Yeah.
It was a hard time. But I don't think at yours, but I'm sure at many they play games.
Yes.
So I was at a baby shower for my good friend Maria.
Put a little melted candy bar in a diaper. Guess what it is?
Eat it out. Eat out the diaper. We didn't do that one.
Eat the poo-poo.
We did guess the circumference of her belly. I just measured my belly and was like, I think it's the same. I was way off. I'm a lot bigger than an 8-month pregnant woman, shockingly. So there was a bunch of games, and then I decided to play a game where we didn't know what the game was. They just asked for 12 volunteers.
Okay.
And ended up winning. There was 2 winners because there was 2 teams, but I won for my team. For best sucking.
This was a baby shower?
They gave us a baby bottle.
Oh my gosh.
Full of apple juice. Which I guess everyone's like, oh, it's so hard. Everyone's like, squeak, 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 squeak.
Sure. Yeah, it's because they're intentionally slow. You don't want the baby to get the burps.
I sucked that thing down and I was like, why is this hard? I just did deep long sucks. I was like, and the guy, the MC was behind me and he's like, Jon, okay, Jon. My liquid went doot. It was gone in 4 hardcore sucks.
That is wild.
I felt like it outed me to the entire Filipino community who was at it was a very large baby shower, 150 people.
Oh my God, wow.
Everyone's eyes on the queer, of course.
Were all the dads salivating? Grandpa in the back, licking his lips?
I did after that, like right after I got my prize, an Amazon gift card.
Yeah.
I did notice a lot of the fathers making eyes with me and then kind of like nodding towards the
bathroom.
park bathroom. And I went in there and I stayed in there for an hour and no one came
in. Wow. So you are officially the best sucker.
I was top 2 suckies at the baby shower.
We've always known this about you.
I mean,
it feels good to have it canon.
It kind of did. It was kind of like, and I don't like to bring up the Emmy. I really don't, but you're always pulling it out of me. It did kind of feel like winning the Emmy, like just that validation. It's like, I know I'm a good researcher. Now the Academy is proving that.
You're acknowledged.
I know that I'm a good sucker, and now it's been acknowledged.
Maria's family will never look at you the same way again.
Maria, she was my seatmate at Avatar, one of my Tay-Tay besties. Aww. So there's that. Okay.
Congratulations, Maria.
So then I also have another...
If the baby has a difficult time latching, you could maybe hop in as a consultant, give him a few tips.
Yeah, I could. I can teach. It is a boy.
Okay. So
I'm glad that I'm only willing to help boy children
to have suckle class.
I'm not teaching a girl how to latch onto anything.
Because you're gay, yeah.
Okay, so there's that. And then a friend of the pod, I bring her up quite often, Terry Hatcher. She has a new podcast out called Desperately Devoted. It's a rewatch of Desperate Housewives. She's doing it with her on-camera daughter and her real-life daughter. Very fun. There are a few episodes in. They're having a great time with it. She's going around promoting the show this week. I'm watching her house while she does that. And it was fun. Yesterday, a bunch of them came on TV. She did Today Show. And yada, yada. So I was watching. It's always kind of funny, like watching her on TV at her own house. Like, feels a little surreal.
That would break my brain.
So yesterday, she went on what was our dream show, Jen and Hoda. That's now Jenna and Friends.
Wow.
So I got to see her talk with Jenna. And she shared something that I thought was very interesting. And I'm just going to share it on here. I'm going to show it to you.
Gourmet sandwiches.
Well, Terry, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. It's good to see you.
It's too short.
I know, it's always too
my
short.
My friend who's taking care of my cat so I can be here says hello. Her name is Jon.
Jon, if he's a cat in person, you know I love him.
I just told Jenna I've never met more cat people in my life.
You know, cat people find cat people. That's what I say.
I'm dying.
Are you? No, I was just saying that. You can. All right, you guys, check it.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
I mean, is that insane?
That better not be the closest we get to Jenna Bush.
Is that insane? When she left for the airport, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm so jealous. I want our show to go on the Jenna show because they used to do like a podcast segment, whatever. I was like, tell Jenna that Marissa and I love her. Like, we just love her. Tell her we love her. She's like, I'll try. I mean, you know how it is. I thought she would just do that as an aside.
Like, not on camera.
Not on camera. And then I'm watching it and I died.
Oh,
I died. Like,
I thought I heard a little scream at around 10 a.m. That must have been you. That must have been you.
Oh my God. It was so funny and so sweet. So now, because of Terry Hatcher, we've been in Us Magazine. I've had a shout out on Jen. And I watched it again today to record this. And after, you know how it's like the segment ends and they go to commercial and you can kind of hear them bantering before it goes to commercial. Yeah. I heard Jenna like look at Terry and she's like, tell Jon.
What did she say?
Tell me what?
Tell me what?
So then I asked her, I was like, she probably just said like, tell Jon I said hi or whatever. And she's like, yeah. She's like, so she was very,
she is so cute.
Terry was so cute about it. She's like, I knew you wanted me to say hi. And she's like, and it was sitting there and it was ending and you know, there's so many subjects coming to you and it like so fast. And I was like, I'm going to go for it. And she's like, Jon said hi. So that was a real thrill for me.
Oh my God. That is great. That's going in your funeral footage.
Definitely. That maybe leads it or ends it. I don't know.
Both leads and ends.
Yeah, and that's Jenna fantastic. Will be there in person. After it's over, she'll step out and she's like, thank you so much for coming. I know Jon would be...
She's emceeing
my funeral.
In honor of Jon, there's a baby bottle taped under all of your chairs filled with apple juice.
Let's get sucking.
Let's get sucking, ladies.
Now,
Ladies
how fun
only.
will it be? Now we have to make this a full circle moment. How fun will it be
Unbelievable.
once we're on that show and I
Sure.
can remind her of this moment, then they'll play that clip and
Yeah.
they're like, and now you're here telling us what brands are hot.
Oh my! I think this is really a good omen for us.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I was thinking the Terry Hatcher bump that we've gotten when she mentioned our show in Us Weekly. People are Googling perhaps Jon, Terry Hatcher,
Dating?
Dating, question mark?
There's like a picture of us on Ventura Boulevard.
maybe somehow they get to the pod. Maybe somehow Terry Hatcher and Jon, if you Google that enough times,
Yeah.
on brand with Jon and Marisa will
Yeah.
come up and we'll get a big fat bump.
A big fat bump.
Oh my God, I'm dying. That's incredible.
Yeah, so I
Thank
thought you would
Terry.
enjoy that. I love at
What an
first I was
angel.
like, is this even interesting enough to bring onto the pod?
Are you kidding?
And I sent it to my friend Erin. She's like, yeah.
Oh, that's great. You're at home, elbow deep into Terry C's candy.
There's Terry, if you're listening,
Cover your ears.
where's the candy? Where's the candy? There used to be all this candy, and I think Terry's too healthy now. And I'm like the little kid. I'm like, hee, I'm house sitting. I go to the candy drawer, coffee pods.
Suck on a Keurig. Open up a Keurig.
There's a
sprinkle
little
it up.
note, take a hint, fatty. No, of course not. She's very kind. She's just super
Aw,
healthy.
That's really, really cool.
All right. Well,
Man.
there's enough of that. Should we get into...
Let's get into it.
our
I am
first dead
so
brand.
excited. I've talked about Joanna. I had to go briefly to buy some materials for creating the fall festival games at my kids' school. So that was the last time I went to Joann's, and it was the first time I'd been there in probably like 5 years. And I mentioned there was a poop on the sidewalk in front of the store.
Of course. It's LA. I mean, honestly, in LA, that could be...
But this was like, it's that standalone Joann's, kind
In
of like near
Glendale.
us, where it kind of almost looks like a suburban Joann's. It has like a gigantic parking lot. Like there's this is the most annoying thing about LA is like things like going to the grocery store. You have to go into a parking garage, get a ticket to validate, get on an escalator. It's
I
like
won't go into a garage.
that thing that just drives me crazy. This is like a classic shopping experience where it's a gigantic parking lot. You just get out of your car, you walk up to the store. Great. Turd on the sidewalk. Great. Place is filthy. Very post-apocalyptic. 40% of the lights are not working. The fluorescent lights. Dusty, dingy. You know where you just see like the signs that designate each aisle, and it's just like it's faded. It's got some dust bunnies
Aisle
dangling.
1 is things. Aisle 2 is more things.
Yeah.
Aisle 3 is baskets.
I remember went 5 years ago to get some fabric for something and looking at this fabric selection, so much of it. This is fabric that you don't see replicated in any garment that you buy in the store. It's all flannel.
There's a lot of flannel.
It's a lot of fleece.
It'll be like okay, I guess I needed candy canes on whatever I'm making.
a lot of Christmas. It's like, does everybody make Christmas pajamas? I don't understand what this type of fabric is utilized for. It looks exclusively for pajama pants because I don't see anybody making regular clothes out of any of these materials.
Do you know anyone that makes clothes?
No, I clearly don't hang out in the right crowd.
I was going to say fabric stores in general.
Mm-hmm.
So in my life, I mean, we've done improv. I've done a million improv shows. I've had to get fabric for costumes
You make
or whatever.
amazing Halloween costumes.
I used to get really elaborate costumes. I've been in fabric stores. I don't spend a ton of time in them, but I've been into Joann's. I've been down to the fabric district. I used to watch Project Runway where they would go to
go to Mood.
What I am so fascinated by fabric stores is it's like there's a ton of fabrics in there, but it's like also like that's it. Like whatever you want to make has to come from what we've decided fabric should be in the store.
Sure.
I feel like you can go in there with kind of a plan, but you can't necessarily be like, I need a this, unless it's like, whatever, a black chiffon. I think that's a thing. What's interesting about it is you're exploring and maybe creating as you shop. Like you are
Interesting.
you're
Yeah.
like kind of fluid with your idea.
So you might go in and go, I'm going to make something. And then you walk the aisles and you're going, it's going to have a really tiny, many repeating minion pattern. And it's going to have to be microfleece.
And it's for Wicked, but I think this will work.
I think this should work.
I'll get a fabric marker to cover out the minions.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just a weird, it's a weird
place,
vibe, but
yeah.
I'm not a sewer. People are, we'll get into that. But yeah, it is an interesting place. And I will say, throwing this just on something you said a second ago about how big the parking lot is in the store, this might be a case of, in reference to the death, size does matter.
Oh.
size does matter.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So-
I've never heard that saying before, so it's interesting.
Did you? Yeah,
There
I
might
made
be
that
there
up.
might be other applications to that.
There
might be.
I can only think of. I can literally only think of that applying to fabric stores.
I know how you would relate to it.
How?
The amount of cheddar cheese on a Skyline.
Size,
chili
how
spaghetti.
high the pile.
How high the pile.
Speaking of which, we won't get into it. Skyline Chili has brought out chicken chili this week. Apparently, it's supposed to taste the exact same, but it's a different protein option for people.
Amazing.
And it's getting great reviews. I can't wait to try it.
Is it available canned in the
It
groceries
is.
near you?
I don't know if it's
Fantastic.
near us, but it is in cans.
All right,
and my
Garrett,
friend said that's
hit
like
the mail.
I already wrote Garrett. I was like, "Have you tried this yet?" I don't know if he's written me back yet. Garrett, of course, at Podcast One, we love him.
Yes.
Big Skyline fan.
Sure.
All right, let's get into the show because we got to dip back to the 30s.
Wouldn't be you if we didn't.
Wouldn't be me if we didn't. The 30s.
This is 10 years after cars have outnumbered horses.
Right. That's why in the open, I was like, not quite clip-clop times.
Sure.
We're stepping out of it.
I just want to re-rack you. You might see a pony on the street.
An occasional pony. A kangaroo? Wait, in
kangaroo?
Australia, do they do that? Do they have hop time?
What?
Wait, they never rode kangaroos,
Instead
right?
of clip-clop time, they have hop time in
Hop-hop
Australia.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was around 1920 when cars outnumbered kangaroos.
And in Australia, they rode in pouches, right?
In the pouch, yep.
Gotta say, side note, I hate going off topic. That's not what this show's about. How have you seen inside a pouch? It's
is
so gross. It's so gross.
Why is it wet?
It's slimy and it's wet, and you're first. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's being swaddled in like a Pendleton blanket.
We thought it was like a fur-lined pocket.
And then you open it up, and it's like exposed organs. It's like you can see the beating heart, and the little baby kangaroo's like all wet.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
poor
shouldn't
guy.
be in there.
They shouldn't
That's
be in
weird. Are they the only pouched animal?
All marsupials have a pouch. That's what the definition of you've got the some mice have a pouch.
Some mice have pouch.
I believe so. Got in trouble this week, and then we really got to get on with the show.
Why?
Got a new listener. He was so excited that he listened.
Okay,
I walk
great,
in. He's
love
like,
it.
John, I listened to the podcast. I have a
Amazing.
note, of course. When they start with I have a note, I'm like, bro. He's like, you cannot say Siri on the show because it just did it on my computer. It makes my Siri open up. And he was really bent out of shape about
He was
that.
mad.
He was like, I was driving and then my Siri opened. I was like,
Okay, let me try something. Hey Siri, call. Oh no, it's using mine.
now mine's on. I see what he's talking about. He was absolutely right. We can't say Alexa or Siri.
Hey Siri, Google Joann Fabric near me. My Siri just shut off.
Okay, so 1930s. We have several members of different families. The Reich family, the Rohrbach family, and the Roskam families. And they're all fleeing Nazism in Germany. They come over to America, and they end up in Cleveland,
Wow.
Ohio.
Ohio, something in the water in Ohio.
This show, it is I need for the timeline, which, by the way, freaks, I don't think anyone's working on it. We've had 4 episodes since that was created.
Good point. If it's a business that is in Ohio, highlight it blue for John's blue eyes.
No, I think we already have a blue. Just put Ohio and I'll sort it. Make a column that says Ohio. All right, so they leave, they come to America, and just to throw this in, the tale I am about to tell is less of a history of Joann.
And more of a mystery.
No.
Oh,
More of a herstory.
Great.
Because
Wow,
there's
2
a
weeks in a
lot
row.
of women.
That's great.
And to be fair, no offense to any men who shop there, it was a store primarily in its founding for women.
Sure, it's by gals, for gals.
By guys, for gals.
Huh? Oh, okay.
So here's her story
Let's see.
of Joann. All right, so we have Hilda and, sorry if I butcher these names, Berthold Reich. And they're in Cleveland. They open up like a small little like fancy food / cheese store.
I love a fancy
Love that.
food
I don't
cheese store.
even picture that in the 40s in
No.
Cleveland, Ohio. And then we've got Sigmund and Mathilda Rohrbach. And they come into the store and they're like, hey, you know what? We're also from Germany. Thank God we got out. We're thinking of we've noticed that people like are making their own clothes and there's like a need for fabrics, like a go-to place to get fabrics. Would you be opening? I know that this sounds crazy and people may talk about this in 2025 on a podcast and not totally understand it. Would you be open to us selling our fabrics in your cheese and fancy food store?
Great question.
And they were like, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could see that.
Why not?
We'll have a
You grab a jar of olives, you grab a
bolt.
Bolt. Where the hell did that come from?
Bolt. I don't know, but you know what I am going to go into?
What?
Notions. I have a whole thing on notions in just a little bit because I'm like, where did notions
come from?
So they're like, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. And just to kind of give a little context at the time, like, people may not think about it now, but sewing machines were a thing back in the day.
Sure.
Like, we're kind of out of the period where you had to make your own clothes, but there's definitely people that were making their own clothes. We're still definitely in the period, if you ripped clothes or got a hole in your sock, people darned them. Where did that come from? Darned. You darning socks, you're mending your clothes. You're not just you're not putting them on the curb or putting them on buy nothing.
Well, yeah, because clothes were it was cheaper to make clothes at home than it was to buy them, which is certainly not the case now.
Right.
Clothes are so cheap because of all the, Walmart, fast fashion, whatever, that to make your own clothes would be so expensive.
So expensive.
Yeah.
It's like those people that are like, I spent $400 to grow my own whatever, to make my own pie, and it cost me, I could buy a pie for $20.
Exactly.
And God, I wish we could put this clip in. Did you watch The Cosby Show?
Yes.
Do you remember when Theo wanted the Gordon Gartrell shirt?
Yes.
He wanted a designer shirt, and he bought it, and then his dad sees, and I'm not celebrating Bill Cosby, but this was a funny show. Mm-hmm. His dad sees the receipt. It was like a $100 shirt. He's like, I don't even have a $100 shirt. Take it back. Mm-hmm. And Denise is like, I can make you a Gordon Gartrell. The shirt, my friends and I have laughed about this scene for 30 years. Mm-hmm. Like, she makes him the shirt, like one sleeve's like hanging past his arm. It's like, it looks insane.
I feel like we looked up a clip of this like maybe 2 years ago.
Probably.
Yes,
And she's like, just tuck it in. He's like, it's tucked into my knees. But then his girlfriend is liking it. And then he's like, everyone wants one. It's a very, very funny episode. That's how I feel like making clothes would be. It's not like I could just sit down and make a button shirt or a pant. It's like, I'd rather, nowadays, you go to Old Navy, you can get a pant for $4.
You can get a pant for nothing.
Just go get a pant.
Yeah.
But women back then knew how to sew. They had sewing machines. A young lady graduating college may get a sewing machine as a graduation gift.
They taught sewing in school.
They taught sewing in school. God, when I went to school, they taught typing. That's how old I am. And I got to say, most grateful class I ever took.
Your typing is really good.
Except now that I have this giant click pad. I'm like an expert typer until Apple ruined it. All right, so there is a need for fabric. So Sigmund and Mathilda want to fill that need. So they bring them into the business, and it's not too long before they realize fabric is doing well. It's a little weird to sell it with food. They separate the two stores. They find a new place to do the food.
Great.
And they open this fabric store. It's like a small space, about 1,400 square feet, and they name it just because of where they live, the Cleveland Fabric Shop.
Oh, doesn't quite roll off the tongue the same way. But okay, we're getting there. The
Cleveland Fabric Shop. I have found some cute pictures of it that I will put in my supplementals so you can see what it looked like
it's
at the time.
very literal.
Very literal.
Very literal.
It's like, but it's 1943.
Sure.
It's not like, I can't think of a non-literal thing, but it's not. All right. So over the next 5 years, Hilda Reich and the Rohrbach's daughter, Alma, they kind of become the mainstays of the business. They double the space. They add a drapery workroom down in the basement.
Ooh.
Drapes were a big thing back then.
You're making your own curtains.
Which seems like the easiest thing to make with fabric. Really, it's just
So
kind of
true.
like sewing the hem, hemming the
hems.
edge. Maybe I don't know the words, but it seems easy to make a drape.
There's even that tape that you can like iron on, that little sticky tape.
Yeah.
I recently
frownies?
was curious about, basically. I was curious about fabric the other day. We need new patio cushions for our outdoor furniture.
Because of the squirrel.
Because of the squirrels. And so they were so just destroyed. They were covered in rat poop. They were eaten by squirrels. They were just wrecked because we got this amazing Restoration Hardware patio set from our neighbors that were moving like 8 years ago, and we got it for so cheap, but the cushions were just destroyed. And I'm looking up cushions. Cushions are one of those like replacement cushions. I feel like they should like be free or like cost like nothing. Like one cushion is like $150.
They're so expensive. Even back when I used to go to Target, they would be like $70.
This is so expensive. This is like more than I paid for like the whole thing. And I'm going to pay this for just like cushions. And then I'm like, well, you know what? A little bit of fabric, a couple bolts, some stuffing.
Grab a bolt.
Sure. Give it a shot.
Give it a shot, my
Give it a
love.
try, yeah.
They're not easy.
Well,
you gotta
maybe
be
I'll try.
weatherproof. You're gotta put a grommet.
A little bit of Scotch Guard on it.
And I'm gonna rant on restoration really quick. Have you ever been to a restoration outlet?
No.
They may be better now. They used to do, maybe this wasn't an outlet. They used to do this annual thing where restoration would get a warehouse space and they would sell their returns and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And I went to one.
And
it would be like a leather couch with a giant knife slash through it.
Hey, that's good leather.
Foam coming out. Exactly. And it would still be like $3,500. And like, it's restoration.
Crazy.
And I'm like, it's trash.
The prices there are just like
they completely
make you
changed.
chuckle.
They
It's
used to have
unreal.
fun, cute little Christmas knickknacks. Now they're just like, they're too big for their britches.
I mean, one of these like iron chairs, this patio chair, was like $1,300. I
Yeah.
got the whole set for like nothing.
Yeah. And it's like, you can only shop for a chandelier there if you have a ballroom because it's like 40 feet across.
Crazy. I'm in the market for 5 cushions, if anybody, chandeliers.
thought you were gonna
5
say
cushions
chandeliers.
if anybody's trying to offload them.
Don't even get me started on the chandelier store in Glendale with all the crystal chandeliers. Like, how often is
this
someone
for?
buying that? All right, we got to stay focused. All right, so
Chandelier stores and mattress stores. I'm like,
mattress store I get more than a
how
chandelier
often,
store.
But have you ever walked by a mattress store with anybody in it?
No.
So what's happening?
Have you ever walked by a chandelier store with anyone in it?
Packed. Line around the block.
Everyone's walking out holding a chandelier.
It's all a bunch of like PJ money bags.
We're all blind because of all the crystals. They're shooting like sun laser beams.
They are pretty.
They are pretty. So the women are doing well. Hilda's daughter, Betty, starts working in the shop at a very young age. At 16, she's typing out invoices after school. And women in the workplace at this time, remember, this is like World War II. This is 1943 to 48. Women are, it's not really being questioned that women are in the workforce because all the men are at war. So women are filling in.
Sure.
Now, when the war ends, women are supposed to do their duty.
Back to the kitchen,
Back
ladies.
to the kitchen, raise your kids, make a pie, put it on the windowsill so that little hand smoky thing comes over to my apartment. I'm like, should I go steal that cherry pie?
At any point in Los Angeles, if you look up, you'll see Jon floating to someone's windowsill because he is. It's a very densely populated city. There's always something cooling on a windowsill.
There's always something cooling. And always know, if you're in a conversation with me and I'm just staring at you, I'm imagining you being a giant hamburger. All right, so it's 1948 now, and the hard work is paying off. They open a second shop in Cleveland. Betty and her new husband, Martin, are active in the day-to-day store operations, and Martin is a really big proponent on expanding the business. So in the 1950s and 60s, America has, very fortuitous to the Cleveland fabric shop, a real crafty boom.
Ooh.
Homemakers are beginning to explore quilting and embroidery and
I love quilts.
I love quilts. I've had my friend Melissa's mom make me a quilt when I was moving to California. I have 2 quilts handed down to me from my grandmother. I love quilts.
I haven't had any quilters in my like immediate family, but some like relatives have made baby quilts for the kids, and then we've gotten a couple from garage sales. But I just love them so much.
Especially the ones that have like old ratty cotton batting inside.
That's
I
the
never
type we
want a
have,
polyester quilt.
Yeah.
If one of the freaks is listening, they're like, you know what? I'm going to make Jon a quilt for Christmas. I wouldn't hate
Cotton
that.
only, please.
Cotton only, please. Old batting, please.
I like gingham and tiny flowers.
I love gingham and tiny flowers. I love quilts. Especially, miss, like I was there. The days of like us all sitting around, all of us grandmas sitting around, putting together one quilt for like a marriage that's coming up.
You know what? We started watching there's a short documentary on Netflix about incarcerated men who make quilts for foster kids.
I saw that. Did I watch that here? Maybe
No.
I
You
watched
in
that. Yeah.
private?
Very sweet. Like people that have requests for quilts and like these gruffle men, they're like smoking a cigarette and like got scars all over them, like putting together this beautiful quilt.
And putting their own like style into it. They're
Very
like,
sweet.
oh, I like the neons, or oh, I like the crazy intricate patterns, and it's really sweet. It also looks like, well, maybe we could do it. Okay, you, me, pickleball, bingo, quilting. Okay, these are just 85-year-old hobbies. All 3 of those are hobbies for us at the nursing home.
We have an old soul.
We do.
All right, so there's this whole new, like, people are sewing more for like creativity at this point than out of necessity, but that's good for them because people want to do it. And embroidery, another thing I love. I love a little thing, home sweet home, or some fun, not with anything too, like, not a mustache, not like too like
Ironic
that you're gonna get at Urban, but I love a cute little
bless this mess.
It's wine time somewhere. Whatever they put.
Wine time somewhere.
Isn't that a thing? Or maybe that's just the signs you get at like...
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
No, wine time.
Wine time.
It's for alcoholics.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's wine
time somewhere.
Okay, maybe not the somewhere.
Okay, it's wine time.
It's wine o'clock.
It's wine o'clock.
That's what it is.
Okay, sure.
Right?
That doesn't really make sense though.
Oh, you're saying it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. But I do think there's something about wine time. We're getting way too distracted.
Great.
In 1950, now the workforce at this time, there's about a little over 18 million women in the workforce. That's a little less than 30%. And the women that are in the workforce, most of them are clerical or factory secretaries, service industry, factory assembly, things like that. But you've got Alma and Betty, and they're opening stores and being moms. They're kind of like the modern day mom now, but just ahead of the time. And Alma would say, when we set up our first place of business, I was pregnant, helping a customer on Sunday, the day before the store even opened.
Wow.
On Monday morning, my daughter Joan was born. Betty would say, when the third store opened, I was pregnant with Alan and I ran the store. Then we opened our fourth store. A week before Alan was born, I was decorating the windows of that store. She's 9.7 months pregnant. 9+ months pregnant, doing the window decorations for their new store. So they really were kind of more like modern moms of today.
For sure.
But they would both say when they weren't at work, they would go to PTA meetings, they would make huge meals for the family. They were really doing both of it. And Alma admitted that her mom helped out with her kids, which was a huge blessing for her. Once they got more successul, she was able to hire help. But again, that's kind of like a modern approach to it. Or a Hollywood. Back then, only the Hollywood starlets were able to do that.
Juggling work and family life.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a juggling act. But they really loved being at work and they loved creating this business. And Betty would say she believed that her children didn't suffer from her spending time at work. And Alma said that her children believed that they did suffer from her being at work, but she thinks that they're just being bratty.
I mean, you could visit mom at work, play around in the ribbons.
Yeah.
Play
what
with
a fun place to be.
spools,
Wait,
the
I don't know if
bobbins.
we have ribbons yet. We're close.
Bobbins.
We're close.
Spools.
Betty told a story about how supportive her husband was of her work life, offering to get full-time help so that she could work as much as she wants, which this just wasn't a typical, I feel like, from what I've learned of history, not a typical approach.
Yes, he's working also.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, he's Don Draper.
Yeah.
I have no idea. No, he's working at the store. What am I talking about? Then Alma would come up with an idea that would really bring the business to a new level.
Okay.
She's like, as long as people are in here buying fabric, why don't we sell them patterns and buttons and all the other things that they're going to need as well?
Really good idea.
We're the Cleveland Fabric Store, but maybe we should be the Cleveland Everything Store. And
Amazing.
what did we talk about earlier? What are these things called?
Notions.
Why?
I got a notion. Why is it called notions?
My next line in my script, the evolution of the word notion.
Wow, take me there.
The initial meaning, the word notion originally meant a clever thought. Then it shifted to goods. And by the 18th and 19th century in America, the term evolved to describe small goods, knickknacks, or inexpensive tools and products sold by traveling peddlers.
Interesting.
Then the term became Yankee notions, and this phrase referred to the small, desirable goods like mirrors, needles, and beads that Yankee traders carried to exchange for other goods or to sell to people in various regions.
Oh, interesting.
Then the connection to sewing, small essential items, buttons, snaps, zippers, needles, and thread were among these small useful items that were not made at home, but were purchased from peddlers. And because these items were small and often decorative and contributed to the overall function or appearance of a garment, the term notion became a natural fit.
Yeah, wow, that's cool.
Isn't that fun?
We kind of peddle notions in the original sense of the word. A clever thought.
A clever twist on a phrase.
Sure, we're
A
notion
gay
peddlers.
wink of the eye. We are living notions.
We are.
Here lie two living notions.
There you go.
There you go.
We're buried in the same casket.
I pray.
Are we like this? Are we like this?
We are like this.
Like this?
Like this.
In a scissor?
I used to joke that I wanted to be buried casket-less, right at the surface where my lips still peek out so people could give me a little kiss.
We'd have to like paint your lips in like clear nail polish or something so they don't rot.
And probably, yeah, you'd have to inject. That's how you would keep them from rotting. I feel like you would have to inject them.
Clear nail polish protects everything.
You're going to make a great landlord. Just paint over it.
Sure.
Now, believe it or not, not everyone was on board with the idea of bringing notions into the store, but she took the lead.
I love the idea of that meeting and them going like, buttons? Yeah, right. Fat chance.
Alma, shouldn't you be making a pie? Buttons. Did you hear that?
She thinks we should change the sign. What a fool. Unbelievable.
Then he has a heart attack and dies.
Can't get no respect.
So she takes the lead and builds the whole notion department from nothing. Obviously, this becomes a huge part of the business.
Well, yeah, no duh.
No duh. But hindsight is 2020.
Sure.
You know that phrase.
I've heard that phrase, yeah.
Hindsight, when you're far removed from it, it seems obvious.
It's almost like you have glasses on.
Very
giving
clear.
you perfect vision.
Perfect vision, which I just went to the eye doctor. I have near perfect vision.
How perfect?
She said, I just need a little tweaking on my right eye, but the lowest reader at the store would still be too strong.
Okay.
That's how just like a...
Perfect is boring anyway.
Yeah, I have a flawed right
You're
eye.
like a model with a gap tooth. It's like the difference, the imperfection makes it more beautiful.
I wish I was talking about my eyes and people hadn't seen me yet, and then they look and my right eye's like looking in a completely different direction.
And it makes you more beautiful.
Yeah,
Sure.
more beautiful. So Alma doing this, it really makes her renowned in the industry. She kind of makes a name for herself by doing this. And then they spend the next decade just growing the business and their families. And by 1963, there are 18 Cleveland fabric shops, and they're all in Ohio. And they decide that maybe it's time to expand beyond the state line.
That makes sense.
Now, if they're going to do that, they can't really, it doesn't make sense to continue to call it Cleveland fabric because
Right, that would be so confusing.
if you're in Minnesota, it's like, why am I here? Though I
walk into a Yankee candle company and I'm like, did I teleport? I'm on the West Coast. What happened?
Were you looking for Autumn Lodge or we just get our Christmas candles there?
I am ready. Do you get the nip alert? We got our first nip in the air today.
What?
We got a nip in the air today.
Was there
Nip
a-
alert.
My nip. Why are my nipples so hard? I hate it. 90% of the time, my nipples are like diamonds. Good Lord, I'm disgusting.
That's the nip alert.
That's
It's
the
like
nip alert.
Pahuska Phil who tells you if there's going to be 4 more weeks of winter or
Right.
whatever the hell it is.
Al Roker calls me every morning. How are the nips, John? It's a nip alert,
We
Al.
got our first nip alert. It's officially fall.
I wish my nips were wired to the weather service.
They could be.
I just need to be in society more. All right, so they need a new name. Alma and her husband have a daughter named Joan.
Joann. Oh,
Joan.
Joan.
Betty and her husband have a daughter named
Joann.
Jackie
Oh.
Ann.
Oh.
So you take the Joe
Joe.
from Joan and the Ann from
Ann.
Jackie Ann,
Oh.
and you got Joann.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And that's how this brand is officially born.
God, I love that.
All right, so now we really just see an explosion of growth. I just mentioned in 1963, they have 18 stores in one state. 6 years later, 1969, 169 stores in 28 states.
Oh my God.
It's big. They become a publicly held corporation on the American Stock Exchange under the name Fabry Centers of America. 1999, corporate name is changed to Joann Stores Incorporated. And as the company continues to grow and open more stores, there's some shifts taking place in our great country.
Sure.
First shift I'm talking about is the shopping landscape in the U.S. starts to change. We grow, as we know, in the 70s and 80s, a real affinity towards malls. So Joann starts exploring that. They start putting up anchor stores in malls in the 70s and 80s. They're opening 4,000 square foot stores in regional malls. And in 1980, they opened their 500th store. Then the second change that we're seeing in the 70s and 80s is sewing declines. So
maybe it's also the malls. The price of clothing is going down because you have these like big department stores and these like chains that are spreading all across America.
You have Banana Republic back when it was cargo clothes.
Sure.
You have the Gap. You have Levi.
So the price of off the rack clothes is dropping. So then you think like, well,
why am I going to make a pant?
Yeah, why do I need to make a pant?
I'm not making a pant. I'm going to go buy a pant.
I'm late for work because I have to like make a pant.
I can't. I'm actually going to be 3 weeks late. I'm making a pant. Can we push the meeting to August?
Do you not know about the mall? You can go buy a pant, you fool.
I'm not going to that devil house. I'm sure that's what it was like.
Yeah.
So sewing as a necessity starts to go away. There's still people that are sewing and crafting for fun, but there's a definite dip in sales in the sewing world. Now, in the late 1980s, early 1990s, 1988 to be exact. Sorry, I don't normally read my headline. That's just for me. So, but now you know the secret. I put headlines.
A little peek behind the curtain.
1988, Joann posts its first loss.
Oh.
And their recovery strategy, which I find a little odd, but again, I'm no mogul. That's my catchphrase.
Your t-shirt. I'm no mogul. Okay, I actually like that.
I just win sucking contest. I'm no mogul. They decide to open superstores.
Oh, okay.
So
great.
sales are down. Let's make huge stores.
Big investment.
And what I think is, and this I'm going to throw this out there now. It's not even in my notes. I do think this is where bigger isn't necessarily always better. Maybe it was in the beginning.
So size
matters.
Okay.
Size matters.
But bigger, so size matters, but bigger is not always better.
Oh, right. Earlier I said size matters.
Yeah.
Now both. Bigger isn't
always
always
better.
better.
Okay, there you go.
Unless you're talking about
In that case.
bigger is better.
Uh-huh.
Unless you're talking about
John,
Okay, so-
does anybody have a bottle of apple juice for John? He's getting thirsty.
Thank you. Thirsty is a good thing. So I think the idea behind these superstores is we can also branch out of just fabrics and notions.
We got space.
We've got fake flowers. We have seasonal items.
Sure.
We're adding yarn.
Yay!
Yarn. People love yarn.
People love yarn.
We have scrapbooking supplies. I'm picturing it. This is like 88. This is like the mom. My mom. My mom did do this. Would be going there to make their own Cabbage Patch Kid. Like they'd find like a Cabbage Patch pattern or like a Care Bears pattern and make their little dolls at home. Loved them.
So
Super
cute.
sweet. But that kind of shopper. Also in the 1990s, they're growing rapidly because they start acquiring other businesses too. So they acquire brands like Cloth World and House of Fabrics, which goes under a bunch of names like Fabricland, Fabric King, Fabrics. Oh my God, that's so hard. Sofro Fabrics.
Sofro
Fabrics. Fabrics. So they're able to grow really fast by that. Like they're acquiring like 300 stores.
Sure.
And they change all of them to a Joann.
Amazing.
So they're not having to like build everything.
Great.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted. There is a chance that Taylor Swift is selling signed merchandise at 1:00 today, and I'm panicked about it. She put up a new counter on her website, and it's handwritten. So we're all like, it has to be signed stuff. So I haven't shared this with Marisa.
She's like Jigsaw, like from the Saw movies. Like there's everything is a little clue, a little countdown, a little like.
Babe, this is like the 9th countdown.
It is.
We're losing our minds.
Ridiculous.
We hate her guts,
Too
but I
much.
need the sign stuff.
Too
I got to
much.
finish the show in 50 minutes. All right. So they're acquiring stores 1995.
Her signing it. Yeah, right.
What?
Her signing it. Yeah, right.
She signs everyone herself. Unlike, I forget who recently got in trouble for, it's called auto pinning. Elton John got in trouble for auto
I think
pinning.
it's a chimp with a gun in its back. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know. Auto pinning. Remember my Elton John autograph? They're like, just to warn you, it's just going to be an E. And then I get mine, and mine's not even an E. It's like an F. It's like he couldn't put the third leg on it.
Too tired.
Arm. Okay.
Leg.
1995, Joann opens a 46,000 square foot test store. Remember, their very first shop, the first Cleveland fabric shop, was 1,100.
Yeah.
46,000 square foot store. It's
Wow.
adjacent to their Hudson, Ohio headquarters, and it's just stocked with an enormous amount of things. Their catchphrase at the time is to serve and inspire creativity, and it becomes kind of the pilot version of all the future Joann superstores.
Wow.
And superstores, that's just kind of like, that's what that time is about.
Kmart,
Kmart was
yeah.
doing superstores. Target was doing superstores. Walmart. I'm sure they were all, that was just like Super Size Me.
Yeah.
Came out in 2004.
A movie
but
that made you very hungry.
made me want McDonald's more than I even wanted it before I went in. All right. So then 1997, my favorite thing that happens with any brand, the release of James Cameron's Titanic. It's like, let's take a pause. Let's just remember it.
Take a moment.
Think about that old couple
God.
laying in the bed. I could honestly make myself cry if I wanted to, but I'm not going to today. Just spooning as the water rushes in.
So sad.
That's how I hope you die. Just
Spooning you?
No.
Oh, I thought we would be together.
No, you can have David. I'll be up on the deck while Al will play the violin, and then I'll probably I'm a Slytherin. Are you kidding? I'm going to try to get on a boat.
That's true. You're going to like steal an old lady's hat and shawl and be like, excuse me, I'm but an old lady.
Got 14 kids at home, I do.
Grandchildren on that boat. That doesn't work. Then you get a little like spinny hat and a lollipop. Me papa's on there. Got room for one more?
That doesn't work. I have to dress up like a furry. I'm just a giant dog. I assume they save dogs.
You think it's women, children, and dogs?
Yeah. Yeah, then men. I mean, but who are we kidding? Men are dogs. Am I right?
Am I right, sister?
All right, so then I decided to do something I haven't done in a very long time. I buckled up and found myself in the Wayback Machine.
Ooh, I wish we had a music sting. What would it be? It's like, ding.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll record that and use that every time we use the Wayback Machine. That's when they launched their website. I went and looked. It's about what you would expect. It wasn't that exciting, but I do love going on the Wayback Machine. I highly encourage it because it's like there's a lot of broken links, but you could go to like crafts that we suggest, and there's a list of like squiggly eye caterpillar, or like there's just all these like it's just such a sweet time.
Oh, God, take me back.
Take me back on the Wayback Machine. 1999, Joann launches their website, which is great, but so is Amazon. So are all the other big box stores.
Yeah.
They're sprouting up everywhere. There's more competition encroaching in on Joann. Joann enters the 21st century of family business, but not a very strong one. In 2000, they have heavy debt and inventory problems.
Wow.
They post their second loss in its history. Then in 2006, the first non-family member becomes the CEO of the company. This is like, what, 60 years into the company. It's finally someone outside of the family. So it might be good to get fresh eyes.
Might be good to get some fresh eyes, sure.
Because I do believe with family businesses, sometimes the heirs are great and they were grown up with it, and other times they just are like, meh, not as into it.
because like, why would they be great? You know
Right.
what I
It
mean?
wasn't
They
their
just-
passion necessarily.
Exactly.
Sometimes, absolutely. But they try some new blood. So, like I said, they're struggling with uneven sales and they have too much inventory. And the stores reportedly aren't all very clean. They're kind of getting a little long in the tooth, a little run down. And this guy, Darryl Webb, comes in and he's got this whole new like level of discipline, not just in like the corporate offices, but also like in the stores. And he really wants to like clean it up. The stores get cleaned. He keeps the inventory tight, and he's just really good for the company. And he is not hot, unfortunately, but he's just a normal looking guy trying to get this company back on track.
Great. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So other people from the company credit him with putting Joann on a sustainable path. He goes back to the basics. He gets it's called right sizing the stores for their retail footprint. So they're not over bloated with inventory. Like the right amount of stuff is in the right size space.
Great.
And he also apparently would go to stores across the country and he would talk to the staff. He would ask people like, what do our customers want? Like in this area, what are people like craving? What do they need from us? Like he was really like, seemed like he was very hands-on, wanted to make loyal shoppers happy, good guy for the company. Now, I mentioned I have headlines in my notes. My next headline is The Road to Death.
Oh, no.
So it sounds like everything is cruising along.
Yeah.
We're back on track. We're on the road to success. So what happened? And it's kind of like, since we're doing these shows about brands that have died, one, that's very hard to find. I had a list of shows I wanted to do, and brands that we think are dead are still holding on with like websites. Circuit City has a website. I think
do?
Tower Records, I think, has a website. Like everything.
Though? Like
Pier 1 still has a website.
About promoting what?
They're selling things.
Are you serious?
Yes, like you can go buy a Pier 1 pillow. The prices are oddly expensive. It's like this pumpkin pillow's $94. It's like, what?
That is so confusing.
I know. So you have a challenge ahead of you to find a truly dead brand.
Wow.
But as I started to think about it, like these deaths of brands, it's kind of like people. So it's like some of them get sick and it takes years and you can kind of see it and they're getting weaker and then they eventually die. Some of them die quick. Like we never know really what's going to happen. I put Joann kind of on that, like, it's like what? We're in 2000. Maybe we're like a...
It's that first cough into a handkerchief, and you see
and
a dot of blood.
There's a little blood on it from Moulin Rouge.
Sure.
And you're like, okay, I'm not going to lie, that doesn't seem positive.
It doesn't bode well.
Doesn't necessarily mean death.
Can you imagine a movie that has somebody coughing a little bit of blood into a handkerchief and then they're fine the rest of the movie and
it's
they don't die?
never brought up again. They become a hero. And
I thought about that with like TV and movies. Like no one ever sneezes or coughs unless it means they're going to die. So just throw in a sneeze. I mean, these are people. Throw in a sneeze. Throw in a cough. A coughing fit and then just they're fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure.
All right, so now we're at 2011. Joann accepts an unsolicited bid from a private equity firm to take the company private. They get a big, fat injection of cash.
Wow, a hot beef injection.
$1.6 billion.
That is a very high number.
In a leveraged deal, meaning that the money is borrowed against the company's assets. I do not know a lot about business, but I tried to figure this out. So this is a gamble. So my understanding is the best case scenario, a private equity firm provides you with an injection of cash. It allows the company to grow and create jobs.
Sure.
Then the private equity firm comes up with an exit plan, either selling the company or taking it public, and they walk away making some cash.
Okay. I mean, they would have to make more than 1.6 billion?
Yeah, I guess.
That's crazy.
I guess.
Wow.
But it all depends on like the timing and the market conditions and interest rates, and all those things can really mess you up. So it is a gamble. So taking Joann for an example, in 2010, a year earlier, they have no debt. They even hit a record high in stock prices.
In 2010.
Yes, no debt.
That is crazy.
So 2011, they get acquired with this $1.6 billion, which is great. I'm sure they have big dreams of what they're going to do, but that also is potential debt. But if they get severely over leveraged from a buyout, they could be forced to raise their prices on things. They could have to cut costs, like including labor, just to survive. So if the market turns or a company is poorly managed, and refinancing becomes harder, they could just be saddled with debt for years. And this is a big number looming over their head. But they've got Darryl Webb, who made everything great to like keep things on track, right?
Yeah.
No, he quits.
Oh.
So he doesn't like this buyout. He doesn't like this big like shadow.
Peace.
Dip. What? I did a peace sign and dip.
Okay, this is your on-brand challenge. We'd like to give you guys a little homework. Next time you leave a party, you don't have to go around and say, thank you so much for having me. Oh, we do need to get that lunch. Okay, I'm going to text you about that. Your cornbread was fantastic. Just stand by the door, throw up a peace sign, and say, dip! Walk out the door.
Now we have to have dip merch. We'll see if it sticks. All right, so he leaves because he doesn't love this deal. So why did Joann take this deal? Well, at the time, the private equity firm, Leonard Green and Partners, they were known for being hands-off, which was they saw as a good thing. So we're going to get all this money. These people aren't going to tell us what to do. Maybe that's not a good thing. I mean, it probably is because I don't think a private equity firm is coming in with a bunch of fabric experts. It's like money people. It's like Shark Tank coming in.
Yeah.
All right, so they get this money. They've got all these investors who aren't really paying attention, and they're able to keep it this like sense of like close-knit family culture that had been instilled in the fabric.
Fabric.
I didn't even do that on purpose.
Well, that's beautiful.
Fabric.
Are you crying?
I made myself cry with my own wit.
Your own notion.
Oh, that's it. Pull over. I didn't know we'd pull over in the show, but if you're not. So they're able to keep that like woven.
Oh my God. We got to stop
go
down.
home. What is happening? Oh, I have some oats to sow.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. All right, but that faded over time. And then for like 13 years, it is literally a revolving door of CEOs and presidents. It's like
this is bad.
Literally like 9 in 13 years. So every like
Crazy.
year or two, you're having someone new come in to try to shape this.
They should have let us try for 2 months.
Absolutely.
Give us 2.
We didn't have our finger on the pulse. I'm sure that they would have given us an opportunity.
Sure.
So that's not good. And then they start cutting back on labor. And we see this everywhere now. But at the time, they start, having less people in the stores. And that causes all kinds of problems because Joann is not like, it's not like a grocery store. It's not like you have people working there. They're going to stock the shelves. A customer might have a question. The beans are in aisle 3. Joann, it's like a labyrinth of bolts of fabric.
Sure.
So
you need help.
You need help. Someone who works there has to cut it.
Yes.
So there's talks about like you get to the cutting line and like a lot of the people that worked at Joann are passionate about sewing and projects. So they want to engage in conversation with you, ask you what you're making, give you suggestions. But now you've got one guy, you've got a line of like 40 people. People are talking about being in line for an hour just to get their fabric cut.
Wow.
And it just started to become a little less like...
You know what you do? You would bring your own scissors.
I would. I would.
You'd be like, hey, I'll cut your fabric for $2. Psst.
Psst, psst, psst.
Meet me in Notions.
I'm straight. Meet me in Notions. So
It also is the kind of place too that I think you might want to go for advice.
Yeah.
At which you can feel the difference. Like if I go to Home Depot, it's hard to get help. It's hard to get anybody to talk to you at Home Depot. But if you go, there's somebody who's qualified, who's like giving somebody advice on a project, which is like Joann's. There will be a line of like 4 or 5 people like kind of waiting to get this person's ear, this like old timer at Home Depot to be like, hey, so I'm trying to attach this thing to stucco. What kind of, because they need to like walk you through it. Joann's is like that. You're going to be saying, hey, I want to make this kind of doll or this kind of dress or whatever. What kind of zipper do you recommend?
Will this pleat? Do you think Velcro would work for this? Is this going to pill?
Exactly.
There's a lot of questions.
So that is a certain level of expertise that you are expecting at Joann's. And if they're cutting back on their labor force, that's hurting the whole experience.
You just have Greg now.
You have Greg.
He used to be in the stockroom. Now he's the bolt cutter.
You think Greg is making pant? He's buying pant.
He's buying a pant. He's like takes his 2 15-minute breaks, chain smokes during them. So he smells like cigarettes when he's cutting
while he's handling your minion felt.
your gingerbread satin.
Sure.
Your satin ginger. We needed
so
a different
much
fabric.
Christmas fabric.
Yeah. So having Greg be there alone, not a good thing. Another issue brought up by a vendor was she was talking about how she would go to like her pitch for Joann. I want you guys to sell these patterns, blah, blah, blah. And she realized now the higher she went up in the executive chain, the less they knew anything about sewing or the company.
Huge problem.
It's kind of like you want a director who started out as a PA and worked their way up. They know all the jobs. You don't want someone who's just there and
who doesn't even know how to thread a machine.
God, don't get me started on on threading a machine or just threading a needle. They're too hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
So that's not a good thing. And then while all of those not good things are going on, what the hell is that coming from Oklahoma? Hobby Lobby. No! Sure, it had been around since the 70s, and it had been regional competition for decades.
Interesting.
But now they are expanding across the, I was going to say globe. United States.
I never thought of Hobby Lobby as regional. Interesting.
Yes, so they were regional, and now they're expanding. They've got craft supplies. They don't have a ton of fabric, but they do have a limited selection of fabric.
Okay, great.
And on January 8th, 2018, they opened their 800th store. So they are definitely competition.
Wow.
March 2018, Joann decides to rebrand. They drop fabrics from their name and just become Joann. I'm not a big fan of this. It kind of reminds me, and it makes more sense, I think, for Apple, because Apple used to be Apple Computers.
Sure.
And at some point, they just changed to Apple because
They
they're
sell a
encompassing
variety
so
of
much more
products,
stuff.
yeah.
So that's kind of what Joann was doing. They didn't want to just be seen as a fabric store anymore. So I get it.
I really like the previous. I don't love the current logo. I really like the previous
I know,
logo.
I do too.
Yeah.
We're nostalgic.
Yeah.
Now, according to Fortune magazine, Hobby Lobby's rise as a national rival was really the tipping point for Joann's decline.
Wow.
So some of the advantages that Hobby Lobby has, they were, and I think still are, a family-owned business. So they weren't facing the same financial pressures as Joann. They did not have millions and millions and millions of dollars of debt. They didn't have thousands of bolts of fabrics that needed to be cut. The stuff in their stores was cheaper. And all of this forced Joann to do more cost cutting, so even less people working in the
now
stores.
it's just even worse experience.
Yes, making the customer experience worse. And it just became this self-perpetuating cycle. So we're up to 2019, before COVID, and Joann reportedly had a staggering loss of $546.6 million for that year.
God, that hurts.
Okay, that's not great. But we come into 2020 with $900 million in debt. Not loving that.
Not a great place to start.
Then COVID hits, and everything changes
Interesting.
for the better.
People are at home.
They are stuck at home.
They need a hobby.
They're pretending it's the 1700s.
Sure.
They're trying to come up with crafts to do
Sure.
and DIY things. And in the first 9 months of 2020, Joann's revenue reaches $1.9 billion.
Wow.
25% year over year growth.
That is crazy. What I hear now is in 2025, a lot of dusty sewing machines in the cabinet.
And that didn't even take till 2025.
For people to give up on their new hobbies.
Look at my cake pop machine that I literally bought at Joann's. I bought at that Joann's that you were just talking about. I went because I'm like, I'm a cake pop maker now. I bought the cake pop dipper. I bought the little thing to hold the pop to dip it, the warmer. I bought like 9 things.
The candy melts.
Candy melts.
Those candy melts cannot still be good.
No, and I think they might be. You're not supposed to put food in your storage unit because you'll get rats. All that stuff's melted over in my storage unit.
Okay, great.
Okay. Then
Is that the most recent thing you purchased at Joann's? Joann? Or was there?
that was probably the last thing
Okay.
I bought at Joann's.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I thought it'd be fun to do something we haven't done in a long time. A hazinga.
Oh, great.
Joann.
Joann. What are you doing?
What were you thinking?
What happened?
Joann pushed to be considered an essential business because they were providing local hospitals with free mask kits.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Making your own fabric mask.
Remember how charming that was when
Yeah.
COVID first hit, before we
Sure.
realized how awful it was? And I went to Old Navy and they had chopped up all their
were
old
using their
flannels.
scraps.
Yeah, their old flowered scraps.
Sure.
You didn't know what you were going to get. And on the picture, there was like 5 masks and they were all different and they looked cool. And then I ordered a pack and it's 5 that look the same in like a dumb pattern.
It was like an old pack of underwear. an
Yeah,
old
it's like I've
cargo
got someone's
short from
crotch
2008.
like on my mouth, which okay. at the right moment. So they're like, we're an essential business, but hospitals like, we don't even want these like we need N95s now.
Yeah,
We're past the
sure.
point of having underwear cover our faces.
Sure, yeah.
And then the media chimes in and they're like, girl, these are your remnants. Like, these are what you sell, like in the clearance bin. These are just your trash, which I don't have a problem with, but
No.
that became a real stink.
It's like you're upcycling.
You're just getting rid of your trash, they were desperately just trying to stay open.
Sure.
They just didn't want to close down.
Sure.
And then the governor in Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, she forced them to close. And her reasoning behind it was like, the things that you're offering are things that anyone can get online without in-person contact.
Sure,
so
sure.
you don't really have a leg to stand on. So they lost that. So I'm putting a Hazinga sign on that.
Yeah. Poor Joann.
But
Worth a shot. That reminds me of when we play Scattergories with David. And David, like, will say whatever he has to say to get his 2 points.
everything.
This, like, Joann was just saying whatever she had to say
Yeah.
to stay open.
And just let us stay open. David was trying to get for F the word flavor crystals.
It was items in a vending machine, and the letter was F, and he said flavor crystals.
And we're like, what the hell is that? He's like, those are the things you find in gum.
In Icebreaker's gum.
So those gum would technically be in a vending machine. So there's flavor crystals.
For H, it was toy, and he said Harry and the Hendersons doll.
Yeah.
He wanted 2 points for the double H.
And then admitted afterwards that he didn't. That
Because
didn't
he
have
lied,
one.
and he goes, I had a Harry and the Hendersons doll. And we were like, no, you didn't. You're lying. And he goes, no, I swear to God, call my sister. I had a Harry and the Hendersons doll. And I feel like we gave him. Did we give him 2
I
points?
think we gave him a point. We always got in arguments. And then you guys wouldn't, for singer, T, wouldn't give me Tanita Tickram because you're all idiots and you don't know anything about music. Tanita Tickram has a new album coming out this month. And you're like, nope, you can't have it. I hate playing games with you guys. But sales continue to grow, and they reached their peak, like I mentioned in the open, in 2021 with $2.76 billion.
Wow.
So now the private equity firm, they finally see their exit plan. They're like, okay, we're up. Let's dump this ship.
Good time.
They put the company back on the market.
They were like, dip.
So they put Joann on the market that year in a public offering that raised $131 million.
Great.
And then it was kind of over. The COVID bubble passed. We all started to move on with our lives. The novelty of driving around your neighborhood, singing to old people sitting on their porches had ended.
Sure, we're no longer trading carrots for a sack of oats.
Yeah, we're not hanging our sourdough starter from our tree for people to grab a bag of it.
Sure.
Restaurants are no longer selling flour and eggs. God, what a time.
It was strange.
Oh,
yeah.
yo, yo. So that was all over. So then let's move into September 2023. We're like almost to modern day. They announce administrative employee layoff.
Oh, okay.
2024.
Shoot.
Share price drops below $1.
No, we don't want that.
March 18th, 2024, file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Now, to be fair, the plan with doing this was for it to be filed by late April with no employees or stores being affected.
Okay.
This is March 18th, 2024.
Don't understand bankruptcy then. Okay.
All right, April 25, 2024, they emerge from bankruptcy as a private company again.
Okay.
January 15th, 2025, file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy again. Second time in less than a year.
Oh, that's not great.
Reason being, decline in sales.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty black and white.
February
No denying
12th, 2025, we're closing 500 stores. Out of our 800, we'll leave 300 open.
Okay.
10 days later, we're closing those
10
300
days?
to 12 days. Well, February 12th to February 24th.
Oh my
12 days
goodness.
later, we're actually going to close everything.
Okay, maybe that's for the best.
May 30th, 2025, which was just, 5-6 months ago?
Yeah.
The last Joann closed. And then it's like it's over, right? May 30th, it's all done. They closed the last store.
The last we hear of Joann.
Until June 5th,
Ooh.
2025.
Ooh, when Michael calls up and he goes, hey, Joann,
Hey, girl.
I know we've had our differences, but do you want to come over to my apartment tomorrow night and sit on the couch and
Netflix and chill.
Netflix and craft. God, Michael's. They're still, I was there the other day. They still have Frankenstein on the toilet. All the Halloween stuff is like 80% off. They're like, we got to move this merchandise, make way for Christmas.
Because I have learned you have to buy Halloween in July or August, or it's like done. You can't find anything good. I also decided I'm so over skeletons of everything.
Yes.
I don't need a frog skeleton.
Yes.
I don't need a fish skeleton, a spider, a hog, anything. Like everything is a skeleton.
The Michael's Halloween stuff is absolutely demented. It is the aesthetic is very unappealing. I find no reason to swap out your artwork for like a ghoulish woman walking in a misty cemetery. Are people doing that? Swapping out their artwork for like this shitty Halloween artwork.
Oh, they have like frame things.
Yes,
so you take
like
down
framed things.
I'm taking down my Picasso and putting up
my photo of me and grandma and replacing it with this AI generated ghoul. It's terrible.
I'm taking down my Basquiat and putting up my Busquiat.
Skiat.
I was so worried I wouldn't be able to think of one.
That'd be great.
I was like, what's scary with Warhol? Warhol. I mean, you can make anything just by being
Saying
like
a spooky
Jasper
voice.
Johns. Nothing scarier than the image of the American flag. All right, so Michael steps in and they're like, look, girl, I don't want your buildings because they're trash. They were too big.
True.
We had customers
They all have poop out the front.
They all got a log out front. There were customers that was like, girl, it got too much. It's like, why am I coming in here? There's like a lawn ornament. There's like all these things. I just want fabric and notions.
Sure. It's like stay in your lane.
They
yeah.
lost who they were, I think, a little bit. And like I said earlier, I don't think they ever had really strong, true identity. I think they were a cult favorite. I think they were an amazing brand. They lasted 83 years. They were doing something right, but it wasn't that iconic thing that obviously that could stand the test of time.
Sure.
So Michael's like, you know what? We'll take your intellectual property. We'll sell your fabrics and stuff online. We don't want the stores. You'll still have a presence. They kind of changed. I got an email about it. It was like, I'm not well versed enough to know, but it was like, if you like Joann's soft and fuzzy yarn, you'll like Michael's warm and cozy yarn. Like they had taken all the things, but kind of just changed the name so that they wanted to name it what they named it.
Sure. And we talked about that before. There were a couple items, specifically yarns, that Joann fans were frothing at the mouth to get. And they were so devastated that they were being discontinued and those being absorbed by Michael's. Yeah, that's big because Michael's I don't think they had any fabric. And they had a small yarn collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am fascinated by yarn as much as I am by paint. I like a simple tool that I know someone other than me can make something really cool with. Because I see yarn, I'm like, I can do like the Eiffel Tower thing, like with I can do the thing with my fingers and make an Eiffel Tower. That's about all I know to do with yarn.
Okay.
But then someone gets it. Oh, I'm not done with the show, but I'll finish it because I've only got a little bit more. But we got a gift in the mail this week.
Wait, what? Do you have it?
I have it.
Oh my God, what is it?
And this is kind of the perfect timing.
I'm excited.
So we got a gift from Rob with a bunch of H's. His name's Rob. And I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend. I think wife, KT. So he's a fan of the show. And he had something that he thought that I would really like. But he had, so when Super Mario Galaxy came out, apparently, if you pre-ordered it, you could get this coin, this official Nintendo Super Mario Galaxy coin.
Okay.
He said he like went to New York, I think Times Square. I have his note here, but I think he said he went to Times Square to get this, and then he heard me talking about it. He's like, this belongs with you.
Wow.
Like he wanted me to have this. So he sent that.
This will be great in the studio someday.
But along with that, he decided to crochet each of us our mascots from Hogwarts.
Oh,
so you have, and I gotta admit,
gosh.
when I opened this, I was like, I want this one. I didn't know what they were at first. I was like, no offense, Rob. I was like, I like this little Chihuahua. Look at his little buggy eyes. And then I was like, oh wait, this is the Badger. So this is yours.
Oh my gosh, this is so cute.
And then look, he made me a little snake.
Oh, and it has the little
They have the
it's
little scarf.
wearing. That is so. Oh, that snake is very cute too.
I know. They're
How sweet.
so cute.
I want to learn how to do this.
I
this
know. That's what I'm
crocheting.
saying.
I know how to knit, but I've never crocheted. This is so darling.
So thank you, Rob, for that. So yeah, so Michaels has the property now. And what I was going to say that I learned this morning, I think it was on the Today Show, I think Michaels has announced, I'm going to look it up very quickly, that they are now going to do what Target does and Macy's does and do a store within a store.
Oh, yes.
And have a Joann in Michaels, which kind of made me mad because I spent so much time trying to find a truly dead brand. And now I think that
It's back, baby.
It's back, baby. So this just came out yesterday.
Amazing.
Joann is making a comeback with shops inside Michael's store.
So
the
funny.
arts and crafts store, Michael's, is reviving the brand name Joann, its former competitor. Officials at Michael's say it will have a knit and sew shop area with Joann signage at all of its locations in the U.S. and Canada.
Interesting.
So it's happening as we speak.
I was in a Michael's, like a week ago, and they have the yarn aisle has the Michael's by Joann,
Right.
like all through the aisle. So this is going to be like a
This is
little
gonna be
space.
its own little thing.
Is there going to be a lady in a little green vest and she's cutting your fabric?
I hope so.
I hope so.
It also says they will also start selling Joann's Big Twist yarn,
Big Twist
which
yarn.
customers loved.
Yes.
So, man,
Get your big twist, girl.
I love that this wasn't even news when I started researching
So
this.
funny.
Like, this is how crazy our lives are. We're like Hollywood reporters.
We should be on the front lines.
We're like brand paparazzi.
Yeah.
So that's what I have on Joann's. I will say I did watch when they closed down. For some people, it came very quickly and unexpectedly. There's a lot of like Instagrams and TikToks of employees getting very emotional and sad about it. Customers getting very sad about it, standing outside of it. Like, just like this was like really a place for like a very kind of niche community
Sure.
where you're not on the internet, you're exchanging ideas with people that have a like-mindedness, and it is sad that that was taken away from
Places
them.
for hobbyists to gather are getting more and more rare. And,
Yeah.
and I do understand why that would be sad.
Yeah, so I'm sympathetic towards that. And then I have one fun fact. Alma, who I mentioned, who came up with the notions and all of that, she kept regular office hours at Joann Store's corporate headquarters into her 90s.
Oh,
How
that's
sweet is
great.
that?
I love that.
So, like they say, if you do what you love, it's not work. There you go. That's our first dead brand, which is now alive.
It's busting its hand through the grave. It's
Yeah.
a zombie brand.
I know. I was going to
Zombie
save
brand.
Zombie Brand for the final dead brand,
Sorry.
and now Joann became
Joann is our first
our
zombie.
first zombie brand. It makes me so mad. All right. Well, now that you've heard it, would you say Joann is dead or alive?
You
on
know,
brand?
it's funny because Joann is not something like, and even when I've needed fabric in the past, like I made little curtain balance in the kids' room, and I went to Etsy. Like that was like, I would buy fabric from Etsy. It's not on my radar to get fabric from Joann's for some reason. I don't have an emotional connection with it. I have not had that positive experience where I feel like these people, they're advisors. They can like guide me. I'm excited to see them in Michael's. I'm excited to open my heart and learn how to make a pant.
Now that they're in a store that you have an obvious animosity towards,
Sure.
they're now on brand for you.
It's at least going to get me in the door. And I wasn't going in the door. I wasn't stepping over that turd to go in the door of Joann's unless it was like, I need it today. I need tulle today.
I kind of feel the same way about Michael's and Joann's. I honestly, before I started doing this show, thought they were the same company.
Yeah.
Because they kind of had the same
in
coupon.
the same way, like TJ Maxx and Marshalls are like the same company.
But those are, like
Yeah,
those
it's very
actually
similar.
are. But
They
I
are.
kind of thought Michael's and Joann were.
Sure.
And I was surprised that they were competitors.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they're both on brand for me, even though I kind of consider them, I don't know, a little lame, but I will go there and I'll walk the aisles, and I like that they always smell like cinnamon, and I can buy Jelly Bellies there. Like
Sure.
it's just a weird place, but I don't dislike it, so it's on brand for me.
Okay. Yeah. It's slightly on brand for me too.
It's not hard on, but
No.
it's on.
It's semi-soft.
Well, there you go.
Great.
That's our first dead brand. Now, before we go, of course, what would a show be without figuring out who our freaks of the week are? These were for our Insta Egg winners for the Pendleton Insta Egg. So all these people got it right. If you don't know how this works, every Wednesday on our Instagram story, I post a little puzzle. If you can solve that puzzle, you shoot the answer to me. I'll shoot you back a little freak badge. I'm going to add your name to the Wheel of Freaks. I'm going to spin that wheel 5 times. And every show, we're going to have 5 Freaks of the Week. So that's what these people did, and that's how they're getting their shout-outs right now. And this week's Freaks of the Weeks are Heidi Kingsley, Stephanie Gallagher, Cassie Funk, Anna Chauncey, and Joey N. So congratulations. Thank you guys so much for playing the Insta Egg. I have so much fun making it, and I love seeing all your guesses. And also check out our Instagram, just our main feed, because every week we post little posters of what episodes we're doing. We also put little packets of supplemental material so you can see if the founders are hot, or you can see old buildings, or just supplemental things from every episode that we do. So be sure to check out all that we do on Instagram.
While we're giving shout outs, I'd like to shout out a lovely listener who left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We have Jungle Gyms. You had me at Jungle Gyms. Finally binging this podcast after hearing them on Doughboys and Podcast The Ride. I knew I was in the right place when I heard multiple references to Jungle Gyms. Growing up, we went to Cincinnati every summer to visit my great-grandmother, and the highlight of every visit, sorry, Grandma, was the trip to Jungle Gyms.
I mean, I get that. Jungle Gyms is fantastic. It's one of my favorite places in the world.
I hope your great-grandma is not listening to this podcast. To see those animatronics and international foods, I'm dying to go to Jungle Gyms. Maybe if we do a live show sometime, we can pass through Cincinnati and go to Jungle Gyms.
That would be a dream.
Thank you so much.
I could do a week in Cincinnati.
I would love that. Thank you so much for those lovely words. If you haven't left us a review on Apple Podcasts, please do so. It boosts morale, boosts the show. Tell your friends. Visit us on Instagram at OnBrandThePod, TikTok at OnBrandThePodcast, YouTube, OnBrand Podcast somewhere. I mean, if you see us, you're in the right spot.
Yeah, you'll find us.
And if you want more Jon and Marisa, check out Off Brand, our Patreon show that comes out every Tuesday. And with that, we'll be back next week with an all-new episode.
And remember, we may go off topic, but we're always going to be on brand. Doop!